It's Wednesday, and you know what that means. It's time for the WrestleMania Greg Cherry Show.
This is the go-home show for us.
It is. It really is. I'm glad to be home.
right. Yeah. My God, it's actually the only stream I'm doing all week, as it turns out, because of my busy schedule. So I am so tickled that I'm here with Greg and Maddie, and Ella's here as a guest. I'm fucking stoked, man.
I love that having Ella on the show is becoming almost a tradition with WrestleMania shows.
Yes.
I think this is her third year in a row doing it.
I think so.
Oh, yeah, because I remember LA, we were talking about Jeff was going there. Last year, I believe I was too, because it was like in Pennsylvania.
Philadelphia, yes.
Yeah. I think it is.
And yeah, this makes three. So yeah, 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us, Ella.
There was a lot of things. If Disney wasn't scheduling me, and if it wasn't so bloody expensive for even a cheap seat, I'd probably be in Vegas over the weekend. But such is life.
So we decided that since the four of us have been doing WrestleMania predictions for the last couple of years, and since WrestleMania happens to be in a city where you like to gamble a little bit.
Oh dear. Oh boy.
We're going to up the stakes a little bit this year with our WrestleMania predictions. And this was agreed upon by everybody, because if it wasn't, I wouldn't be doing it. The person who gets the lowest score based on this particular show, like our answers are locked in here. We can't change them on Twitter or on like another podcast or anything. The answers you give on this show are locked. The person with the lowest score will have to suffer a punishment from the Wheel of Punishments, which I will put on screen a little bit later on the show. Just so you guys know what you're into, because I haven't told any of you what's on there. Ella, it won't mess up your carpet. I'm on carpet now, so I understand.
Yeah. I don't want to break anything either. That's the only other thing. No carpet running, and I'm not destroying anything. That's all. Unless it's my reputation on Twitter, then I guess.
Oh, that's one of them.
Okay, that I'm okay with.
That's a little spoiler. Yeah, let's get into it. We got 2 nights of WrestleMania to talk about. So you frozen, Maddie?
I also
rip.
So
the Colorado air, it's getting a little too thick up there for everybody.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Are we good?
Yeah.
For the moment.
Am I heard?
Yes.
Yes. You are heard. You're always heard here, Maddie. Let's be real, but
I'm very delayed, aren't I?
You're very delayed, yeah.
Yes.
Go out and get back in while I pull up the card.
We shall try Maddie again up there in Colorado, and we'll get you back.
But yeah, there's been a lot of talk about not as much hype this year as there was in last year's WrestleMania. But a lot of people have compared the WrestleMania 41 build, to the WrestleMania 31 build, which was also not great.
No.
But WrestleMania 31 actually turned out to be an excellent WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Yes, it did. Yeah. So
dare I say the best build has been Jade and Naomi?
Oh yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. Okay.
I definitely feel there's and Ella, I know you talked about this
in the Night 1 3-way as well. But
yes.
Well, yeah.
But I know Ella, you talked about this on Twix that the fact that they are the first non-title singles women's match and they're getting hype is just extraordinary. I'm so happy for both of them.
Same.
Me too. And it's the first non-title women's WrestleMania match since a match that definitely didn't age well in Corey Wilson and Candice Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's so unfortunate that was what it was, and just like I said, it hasn't aged well. But our girl Mickey had the moment of her life that night, so it kind of balances out a little bit as far as how awesome that was for her.
True.
Mickey and Trish still one of the best women's matches.
Absolutely.
In WrestleMania.
Absolutely. Yeah. Two of the greatest ever. I'll die on that hill.
Oh, absolutely. It's Mickey James is overdue for WWE Hall of Fame induction.
I know Ella feels.
I do have to say, I'm low-key glad it's not this year because Vegas, I'd be flying out for one night and Vegas is so expensive and it's in the middle of tax week and Easter week. I'm like, this is the worst year. So I was like low-key relieved. Like maybe New Orleans next year.
There you go.
Go celebrate on Bourbon Street. So
There
but I agree.
There we go. Let's just turn you and her loose on Bourbon Street and then watch the news and like, oh, that's what happened.
I've
Okay,
gotten loose with her in Albany, the capital of New York. So
no, I'm. There's so many things going on this weekend. Greg will attest as I know both we're all sports fans. Stanley Cup playoffs start this weekend. It's Easter weekend. It's WrestleMania week. I know you don't. Well, that's true because Pittsburgh's not in this year. Hey, you know what though? I am still happy that so many teams are doing well that I never thought would do well for hockey. But yeah, playoffs start this weekend. Easter weekend, WrestleMania weekend. If you're going to be in Vegas and it is 420, God bless you if you partake because you're never getting out of that city alive. I've actually talked to him and I said, look. If I can get there, I will. But the Moscow Mafia has got me locked down, so it's probably not going to happen this year. But I wanted to. I really did. And I hope that everybody that does get to go out and do their thing has a good time and stays safe.
What's up, our local establishment? A lot of good people over on OLE.
Yes, absolutely.
We've had a couple of them on this too.
Yeah, that's true.
And of course, JJ's in the house. And Colin's in the house. I'll put up the happy birthday Maddie thing, which we didn't get in. But
yeah,
he's kind of not here at the moment.
He ditches his own party. God.
Yeah, right.
You know what? Honestly, if he doesn't come back, he forfeits our predictions and he's a loser.
I'll make him do every single punishment on the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
See, the thing is though, he'll enjoy that.
You know what? He's a sadist. Like he's the same person who, when the Chiefs beat the Broncos, he did the freaking skewer spot on like live on a show.
Yeah, he did. He did that. Okay.
Not a spot on the wheel because hell no.
And the fact that Moxley's up that ante, I'm like, I'm kind of good on doing anything that Moxley does anymore. I'm good. Once
I saw the suplex, I was like, yeah, maybe I'm glad I'm not a wrestler.
Yeah.
I would be such a bitch.
Same.
I was a bitch just watching it. Oh God, yeah. No, this. I've often told everybody. Greg knows this. This is like my second Christmas for the year. Like I get Christmas in December, and then we get in the spring, and it's WrestleMania week, and there's so much to watch. You mentioned JJ was here. Starting tonight, they are having 16 different watch-along streams. Starting with the GCW ID Championship Tournament stream tonight, going all the way through WrestleMania Sunday, not also counting Raw, after Mania, and NXT. So yeah, between now and by this time next week, they will have done 18 different live streams for WrestleMania week. And I think those conversations you and I had about trying to do something like that and trying to even do like our retro watches, live, our wrestling rewinds. 18 streams in 7 days is wild.
I could never.
No, let me tell you what. The only way I would do that is if I was getting Salcedo money. That's the only way I would.
That's true. You know what?
Yes.
Valid.
And I do not have anywhere near the popularity of Denise. So
no, and nor do we begrudge her that because Denise has worked her ass off, and we love Denise Salcedo. So
absolutely. That's not by any stretch.
No, it's and there will be people that'll be there this weekend, and I'm overjoyed for them. A lot of them, it's their first WrestleMania. A lot of friends I know are going to Mania. It's their first WrestleMania, and it's Las Vegas is a whole other animal. But if they're willing to put up with that particular part of it to see as much wrestling as they're going to see, I'm happy for them because starting tonight, there's something every single night going through the rest of this week.
I'm already overwhelmed by it. I already know I'm not going to be watching all of it because I have some sanity. Like, honestly,
no, it is.
I don't even know if I'll watch SmackDown, to be honest. I know I'm definitely not staying up for the Hall of Fame. Like,
no, I'm not.
No? Okay.
No, I
It's
got to
starts at
cover
1
stand and
a.m.
deliver the next morning. That's not
valid.
happening.
That's valid too.
That's not
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah.
So, first of all, before we get into the night one predictions, happy birthday, Maddie.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Also,
Happy birthday,
Do I
brother.
have a delay or no?
No,
No.
you're good.
No, you're good.
Sweet, merciful God.
Otherwise, we would have forfeited the punishment and taken.
Yeah.
I would have taken it right now. I would have done the punishment right now. Spin the damn wheel.
Yeah, we brought up how you skewered yourself after the Chiefs beat the Broncos.
That's crazy.
So it's like
By 11
the
points.
The stuff on my wheel was not anywhere as bad.
No.
Oh, damn it. You don't have 10 lashes with the belt? You don't have the MJF
I mean,
punishment?
if you want to forfeit right now, Manny, I got no problem with that.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I'm here for that. Yeah.
Okay, we're not quitters. None of us are forfeiting.
So I did finally find a website in the United States that allows you to gamble on WrestleMania.
Nice.
And with that being said, I now have the betting odds for WrestleMania. So as we go
Yeah.
match by match, I can also give us
yeah.
the
Yeah,
betting
you
odds.
go to bet
for the
online.
Vegas
I can
Mania.
see them too.
There you go.
But
All
here's
right.
the
I'm
thing.
going against a few of them though. I have to.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, between now and Saturday,
They could
those
change.
could change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could change crazily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's changing as we speak. I literally just saw odds go up for one of the first matches. So go ahead and go through the card.
all right. Well, let's kick it off with the match that we already talked about,
Yeah.
and that is Jade Cargill versus Naomi. I'm excited for this match. It's going to be Jade's first big test in WWE, I believe.
Yeah.
Because Naomi,
It's not her first singles match, is it?
it's not. It's not her first singles match, but I think that on this stage, it will be her biggest test because we all know Naomi's
Oh,
great.
without a doubt.
Naomi's fantastic. So for Jade to live up to the hype surrounding her, which is, let's be honest, completely fair that she gets that hype.
Yes.
Mhm.
Can she live up to that in a match that has a lot of emotion behind it? Jeff, I will start with you.
Yeah, we were talking, when we first came on, even, before, that this match being what it is in history and the story behind it is arguably the best story, the best build that's not in the main event slot this weekend. And there is a lot on the line for Jade Cargill. This is her first singles match at a WrestleMania. It's her first time on a stage of this magnitude in WWE, and she's going against one of the very best to ever do it. People have, not, in my opinion, given Naomi the flowers she deserves. When she walked out with Mercedes a few years ago, they both kind of, the world kind of came down on both of them, and I feel that was grossly unjustified for both people. Let me be clear on that. Naomi's came back. She's definitely, proven that she is back where she belongs. And I really think her winning the initial outing, because I don't think this is going to be the blow off. I think this is the payoff for the build, but I don't think it's going to be the blow off match of this story. I think there's going to be more to it when this weekend's over. So for now, I feel Naomi wins, but Jade is going to give her the fight of her life, without a doubt.
All right. Ella, go ahead.
I'm also in agreement that it's going to lead to another match. However, I have Jade Cargill winning. It's her. Actually, it might be Naomi's too as well. Like their first singles match on a WrestleMania card, period. It may be Naomi's too as well. If I'm because she's been in battle royals or multi-woman matches before. I don't think she's at a singles.
I think you're right.
But like Greg was also saying, there's still hype around her. I don't think they're going to have Jade lose on her first singles WrestleMania match. And if there's anybody that can make her look good, it's Naomi. It's a dependable, reliable veteran, Naomi, who can use that loss as fuel to spiral even more and coax Jade into a rematch and then win that rematch. So that's how I have Jade Cargill. for this one at WrestleMania.
All right, birthday boy, what do you got?
I also have the Vegas betting odds favorite, Jade Cargill, currently favored at -400 to Naomi.
Which isn't a lot. It's not a lot.
Yeah.
No.
If you're going to bet on an underdog, though, I do feel like Naomi would be a good one because we do got Backlash coming up. Backlash is kind of a perfect pay-per-view for that storyline to continue, especially if you have the heel win at Mania, her getting her Backlash a month later. So
That's
I
where
can
I'm
see
thinking.
Naomi winning, but I'm with y'all. I don't think that they're going to have Jade Cargill drop her first big time one-on-one match, let alone at WrestleMania.
Let me ask Greg this before you move on to your pick, Greg. Is the triple threat for the Raw Women's title also on night one?
It's on night 2.
Yeah, it's on night 2.
Okay.
So
Okay.
and that's part of the reason now I'm thinking it's gonna be Jade.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't aware of that either. So okay.
If the triple threat was before the Jade Cargill Naomi match, I would have gone Naomi. But I don't know. But now that Jade and Naomi is night 1 and the triple threat is night 2, I gotta lean towards Jade Cargill on this. I feel like again, it's not going to be a one and done thing between the two of them. Nor should it. I feel like it's going to lead to like a stipulation match later on down the road. But
Okay.
I'm going Jade Cargill.
With the knowledge I have, go ahead and change my pick. You guys have talked me into it. Between that and the knowledge about the card placement, you guys have talked me into switching my pick. I'm going with Jade then.
Can we do that?
Well, it's until the end of the show. So are you locking in Jade now?
I'm locking in Jade. Yes.
All right. So
now
the difference could be by 1 point, Jeff. We'll see.
No, I know. Well, it's one of those. Yeah. It's one of those. I'm not willing to hedge the point differential on this one. Like there'll be maybe one later where like, you know what, I'm going against the grain. Hell with it. But this one, I think you guys are right, and I think the Vegas odds definitely help me.
This is one of only 3 matches, if you count Randy Orton's, that's going to come that I'm like really confident in. The rest, I like keep going back and forth on a lot of them.
I'm going to say this: since there is no match announced for Randy Orton currently, it's not going to affect our final score.
He's winning anyways. But
yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. I really feel like they can't build all this shit and have him not win whoever they put him against. Like it's like it would just be like, wait, what? So
I had said
I guess it really depends on who that is.
I had said on a show earlier that I believe this match should have had a stipulation with the way that it was built.
Yeah.
Like we've got a match later on that's got a street fight attached to it, but if you could have attached a no holds barred, a false count anywhere, or an ambulance match to this, they tried to murder on both of each other.
It's a match that hasn't happened in 17 years. A backlot brawl. Because all the cars would be surrounding like the two of them. It'd be the first women's one in history, but last one was John Cena and JBL.
Didn't they technically have one in NXT?
Yeah, I guess they.
The Dream and
I forgot about Velveteen Dream and Adam Cole. I kind of blocked Velveteen.
But they like actually put a ring out there.
Yeah, that was different. Like they actually had like a ring set up, so it
that
wasn't
was bizarre. Yeah,
backlot roll.
Anyway. I'd be okay with that being stipulation for Backlash because that's Backlash leans more towards stipulation matches. So yeah, have them do the fight with the cars surrounding them at Backlash.
Yeah. Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. I'm going to take the lead on this one.
Yeah.
I think Gable's winning.
No, right. Yeah. I love that everybody is leaning into the. I can't believe Chad Gable was at WrestleMania match. This new kid does. I think it's hysterical. I think it's so tongue in cheek on Bradshaw's podcast with Conrad this week. JB was talking about, it's typical. These damn people come into this country, take jobs from good, hardworking Americans like Chad Gable. It just pisses me the hell off. It's like, God damn it, Bradshaw, really? But it's such a stupid thing, but it's so like if you get it, you get it. I think it's great. But yeah, I agree that El Grande Americano almost has to win, because if he doesn't, then what are we doing? What are we doing?
Maddie.
I can't believe they're doing this to my Mexican icon in potentially his last WrestleMania match.
Yeah.
He's getting, Ella, I saw that. He's getting old. I don't know if he's going to put on a good WrestleMania match anytime after this, but I know him and Gable are going to put on a fucking banger.
Yeah.
I don't know how Gable is currently the underdog, but I'm also going Gable. Also, that's a Starbucks order, no?
I don't drink
Yeah,
coffee. What do you have to be for?
Americano. Yeah, it can be, because if you go to Starbucks, yeah, because they have grande.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
that's right.
Americano Grande?
It would just be a grande Americano. It wouldn't
Okay.
you don't need the L.
Well, but you are like that just for fun.
But yeah.
The storyline is dumb. You could have had Rey Mysterio and Gable have this match at WrestleMania just as Rey Mysterio and Gable,
Yeah.
and it would have been fantastic. The storyline's been funny here and there, but
I've liked it. I've enjoyed. I mean, they clearly needed to do something different with Chad once they firmly put the divide in between him and the rest of Alpha Academy. Like even having oh god, what's the brothers' names? Oh my god,
Julius and Brutus.
The Creed brothers?
the Creeds. God, I couldn't remember their last name. The Creeds and Ivy with them. It still felt like it wasn't like gaining momentum, but having Chad like completely go off the deep end and do this luchador thing, I think has been brilliant. At least I've enjoyed it.
So Ella, is it a clean sweep on this one too?
Yeah, El Grande Americano is undefeated. Ray has won the last 2 WrestleManias. If it was mask versus mask, then I would absolutely say Ray, because they're not unmasking Rey Mysterio on WrestleMania, but it's not. So I have to go El Grande Americano as well. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Next up, the United States Championship match. Jacob Fatu challenges L.A. Knight. Yeah. I just have this feeling Jacob Fatu's winning in a squash.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why, but like I feel like that would shock a lot of people. I don't think it would hurt LA Knight. I really don't. Because I feel like LA Knight's going to go on to like bigger things. Like he's been US champ. This is his second reign already. I feel like he's going to go on to better things while Jacob Fatu just dominates with the US title. So that's my pick. Ella, you agree or?
Yeah, I'm also going Jacob, but I would not rule out the possibility of Braun Strowman costing Jacob to reignite that feud for Backlash, because they had that at Saturday Night main event. Then we saw it at the Royal Rumble. I would not be surprised if Braun cost Jacob, and that's how LA Knight wins. But I think you have to crown Jacob Fatu as the U.S. champion. So that's my official pick. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, could Braun Strowman come back? Because he's not doing anything for WrestleMania, and I don't think he's injured.
No, probably in the bottom.
Yeah, but I also do have to go with Jacob, yes.
All right, Jeff.
Yeah, I don't see how you don't anoint Jacob Fatu here as a champion finally. It was such a big thing when he finally came over to WWE last year during this Bloodline Civil War thing, and he's come so far so fast in half a year. Actually, no, full year now, because it was right WrestleMania last year. And we all know I love LA Knight. That's my boy from way back. But I do agree that I think that with a loss here, and again, it's so stupid. I still can't imagine them putting the WWE Championship on him. But the World Heavyweight Championship, I can see. I don't understand why that's my brain process, because I love Sean Ricker. I do. I think he's one of my favorite people ever. But I just don't see him being the WWE, Cody Rhodes' championship, John Cena's championship. I see him being a world champion. So with that, he's got to drop the secondary title. I still say he should go to Raw after this and become the Intercontinental Champion for a while before he becomes.
There is a draft, so maybe.
What's
Yeah,
that?
there's a draft.
There is a draft coming, and I think if anybody is a workhorse, it is LA Knight, and he should be the Intercontinental Champion as well before he gets that big world title run. But for now, WrestleMania, new U.S. champion.
Maddie, going 3 for 3 on this?
Absolutely. If you don't put the belt on Jacob Fatu, what are we doing? What the hell are we doing? You put the belt on him, let him have it for about 2 years. Let him break Logan Paul's record, so that thing's out of the fucking record books, please.
Logan doesn't have a record anyway.
It's like 200 days he was champion.
I don't care. He's still in that damn record book. Get him as far away from it as possible. But no, Fatu needs to win this match. I don't see any way, shape, or form of LA Knight sneaking this one out. But I also don't see it being a squash, because I went back and was rewatching. I think it was Mania 35, Kofi Mania.
Mm-hmm.
That was 35. Yeah. Right after that was Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio in like a 2.5 minute squash match.
Right.
And I remember being very irritated with the fact that they did a 2.5 minute squash match with people like Joe and Mysterio. Right. I don't want to see that happen with Jacob and LA Knight, specifically for the same title.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think the record is the record for longest reign in WWE is Ambrose. Overall, it's either Lex or Rick Rude. But I'm pretty sure it's still Lex.
It's Lex Luger.
Okay.
Lex Luger held it for over 500 days. Ambrose held it like just shy of a year. On the
WWE. Let Fatu hold it for 2 years.
There you go.
So then he just breaks it all. Like Lex is going into the Hall of Fame. He doesn't.
That's right. You don't need it anymore. That's right.
Congratulations, you can walk again. Your record's gone.
Right? Wouldn't that be some shit? Oh my god.
Next up is a match I'm having trouble making a decision, so I'm throwing it to everybody else first.
Chicken.
The World Tag Team Championships. The War Raiders defending against the New Day. Maddie, this time I'm going to start with you.
I guess that's a good thing. According to Vegas betting odds and myself, yes. The New Day are favorites by -1,000.
Wow. That's a lot.
The War Raiders are plus 550. So in betting odds, that's 550 per dollar that you put down. So I think the New Day are taking this, but I think there's a swerve that happens during the match.
And that's why.
Go
ahead. I think the opposite is happening because.
Okay, so you think he's going to help the other side?
Yeah. So I did predictions for like one of the sites I work for, and like 90% of the people picked the New Day. I was like, why are we picking the New Day? A Big E return and helping the War Raiders is right there. Like he can, and then I've also been enjoying the New Day spiraling, and the New Day like just beat them down. They kind of have the upper hand going into WrestleMania. So like I can see why you would want the New Day to win because they're like decorated champs. It's been a while since they've held gold, but I think if any place for Big E to return, it would be at WrestleMania. It would be to get revenge on his New Day brethren for turning on him and helping the War Raiders. So I have to go with the underdogs on this one for the story of Big E. So I'm going with the War Raiders.
Okay.
So before we jump to Jeff, I do want to say on Ella's point, I did a prediction earlier today, and my prediction was Big E comes out to try and help the War Raiders. But in trying to help them, distracts them long enough for the New Day to get like a cheap win, get the titles back, technically with Big E's help. And then we get a weird back and forth, like with E, maybe, is he good? Is he bad? Maybe we see Big E become the heel, like manager for Kofi and Woods, bring all three of them back together in some way, shape, or form. You know, it's been months since the New Day turned on him.
I think they would have to do a lot to convince him, though. Like,
Yeah,
unless
they
it's,
would.
imagine it's like a ploy this whole time. Like, actually, they're all in on it. Like, that would
Oh,
be
yeah.
something. But I'm like, damn, like that could be. I have to go with War Raiders on
It'd be
this
a hell of a long
Yeah.
time to keep your finger on that trigger, though, Ella. But
Yeah.
I'm here. I don't disagree with it. You were at Mania last year, right, Ella?
I was not. I was at 38 in Dallas.
That's right. Okay. For anybody that I don't know if anybody was aware, did they have the Wale Mania event last year? I know they had it in LA. They did have because they're hyping the hell out of Wale Mania because Samantha Irvin's going to be part of it this year.
Like she was last year.
What's that?
She was part of it last year too.
Well, right, but I'm just saying she's not part of WWE anymore, so I just found that interesting that they're still really hyping it. I asked about Wale because we all know Wale did Big E's theme. I personally think that the swerve and then the coercion of Big E, like coercing him into joining them, is what's going to happen. So I do think the New Day are going to become the tag team champions, and whether Big E's swerve is intentional or not, I think that is definitely going to be a key component of the match, is that Big E's involvement will in some way lead to the New Day once again becoming the tag team champions.
I feel like the New Day almost have to win that match. And I say that because their momentum stalled a little. Like they obviously had that heat for weeks after they turned on Big E.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid that if they don't win the titles, this heel turn will stall. And I think it's something that both Kofi and Woods desperately needed. So I think that they are going to become the new tag champion.
I also have to say I'm picking the War Raiders. I guess what kind of a spoiler alert. Last year, all of the championships except Logan Paul changed hands last year. All of them. This year, if I had chosen the New Day, I again would have had all the titles except for one change hands. And I was like, I don't think they're going to go that crazy again. So I only have technically two sets of tag team titles staying in hands. The rest I have title changes. I was like, they cannot have all but one title changes again in my mind. So that's also another reason why I chose the War Raiders, because I was like, that is too many title changes on one night, especially after last year where we had all of them except Logan.
I mean, the Survivor Series 2002, there were 5 title defenses and 5 title changes. So it's not out of the realm of possibility.
I know. I was like, would they do that again though? I was like, oof, I can't do that.
I think that the previous year was the Unification City with the ICUS and the tags because they had an invasion thing. But it's seeming like the big 4 are title switch heavy here the last short while. So
you don't see a ton of title changes on TV anymore, or even some of the B pay-per-views. Like the longer
I was at EOS. I was at there in person, but that was a good one. But it doesn't happen a lot. So I'm like, oh my god, I don't want a whole like slew of title changes. So that's another reason why I chose the War Raiders.
Okay. All right. Well, speaking of title matches, one that I have been very opinionated about.
I already know which one this is.
But the WWE Women's Championship.
Yeah.
Tiffany Stratton defends against Charlotte Flair. I should probably go last.
Okay.
Ella, I'll start with you.
For me, it's Charlotte Flair because Tiffany like kind of made the point home to me. If Tiffany loses, then it's kind of like, whatever. She doesn't really have anything to lose. She's still early on in her career and she's losing to one of the greats. But if Charlotte Flair loses, then she loses to a 25-year-old rookie. And I don't think that they're going to that's Tiffany's words. I don't think they're going to have her do that, especially coming off of another a big return and like an injury. I don't think they would have her lose like that, but it is an odd numbered WrestleMania and all the time she's lost has been at odd number WrestleManias. But I'm still going with Charlotte Flair. Tiffany was actually the one who swayed me because like if she loses, she doesn't really lose much. But if Charlotte loses, then she lost to a 25-year-old rookie. So I have Charlotte and New.
Right. Jeff.
Yeah, I agree with Ella and for that exact reason. There was a lot of talk around WrestleMania 22 that Triple H completely screwed the pooch in that build with John Cena because he's like, oh well, if I beat him, it's no big deal. It's like it's the WWE champion, Hunter. Like if you beat, like it was so mind-boggling that those words were coming out of his mouth, considering how much of an historian, how much of a student of the game he is. Tiffany using those words against herself is exactly what we needed because it was so unclear until she said that because you really didn't know where they were going to go. Yes, Charlotte came off a year plus out with a major reconstructive surgery. And, Charlotte coming back is always one of those, oh, God, here we go again moments for a lot of fans. I love Charlotte. I don't care. Hang me off the hill.
My
Whatever.
girl, too, so I get you.
Right? It's just, the thing is, people hate on her. Ashley Fleer did not ask for the company to stick that rocket ship up her ass, right?
Yeah.
So, damn, it bugs me. It just does. But I feel like her losing at this point would just be monumentally disastrous, whereas Tiffany has the youth and the time on her side to rebound at SummerSlam or even, sooner than that, maybe Money in the Bank. So, yes, Charlotte is once again women's champion walking out of WrestleMania. Bring on the haters. I'll wave the flag.
And within
right
one of her father at that point, then.
Well, so
she'd be at
she's
15. She's at 14.
She's at 14, not counting the 2 NXT titles, which they go back and forth on whether that's a world title or not. They can't make up their freaking minds half the time. If they count the NXT, she's 16 already.
Mm-hmm.
So either way, we could have 2 people, if you count NXT, 2 people passing Ric Flair this weekend. So I'm here for it.
Maddie.
You see, other than Ella and Jeff, I feel like I'm on Greg's side here. And it's not the person, Charlotte. It's definitely been the way she's been booked. And, for the most part, last couple of years, it really does feel like she's phoned it in. Understandable. But I just feel like storyline-wise, this is where Charlotte starts showing overconfidence, maybe. I feel like Tiffany gets the win, but it's not convincing. It's going to be in a way that Charlotte deems she squeaked by her, didn't beat her. Or, we have one of those stupid moments where WWE has the referee be absolutely oblivious to Charlotte's long-ass legs being on the rope. So I feel like there's going to be a screwy finish here, but Tiffany gets the win, walks away as champion. We get her versus Charlotte again at Backlash with a more aggressive Charlotte.
If you finish like I did with Lex and Mr. Perfect, where the legs are all up in the ropes and they don't see it, I'm gonna be like, wow, we regrets 32 years. Awesome.
Pretty much.
God, that was one of the hokiest finishes I ever did see.
Also, the backslide is a bullshit wrestling.
Yes, it is a bullshit move.
It sucks so bad.
It won Kerry Von Erich the World Title 84. Good for Kerry.
Dude, when Drew McIntyre beat Orton at SummerSlam with a backslide, I'm like, what? Like a SummerSlam world title match finishes with a backslide? I was so mad.
Oh my God.
I was just insanely over the top, just angry about it. And it was stupid. So here's my opinion of the Tiffany Charlotte thing. Not that I haven't voiced it numerous times. The way this entire build has gone has been Charlotte heavy. It's reminding me of the Batista John Cena build for 26, where Batista came out on top pretty much every single week until the last week, and then Cena ended up winning in Mania. If Tiffany does not win at WrestleMania, I know Ella brought up the point is it won't hurt her. I disagree. I think it hurts her badly because she has looked like a chump this entire feud. In my opinion, I feel like Tiffany has looked very secondary. And she's incredibly talented in the ring. So my fear is that, and I swear, like I said it last week though, Charlotte not showing up with like her like robe or anything, like in gear or anything, just showing up in like street clothes and just being pissed off. If that's the Charlotte we get in the future, I'm sold on Charlotte. Like if she ditches the Ric Flair cosplay, I am for Charlotte. So I have to give it to Tiffany for no other reason than my brain won't let it process that somebody dominates an entire build and wins. Because I feel like that just buries Tiffany. Maybe I'm off base.
Hey, you know what though? That's the one you're going against the grain, so that could be the one that gets you the.
Well, it's 2-2.
Yeah.
All right. So
See, I don't feel like it would bury Tiffany. I don't feel like it would damage her near as bad. But I do feel like this story needs to continue and have a decent enough story to keep it going.
Yeah.
So you have Tiffany win either with a sneak pin or oblivious referee. You can keep it going with a decent story for at least another month or two.
The only bad part with oblivious referee stuff is that if she takes advantage, she comes off the heel and it just swirls everything into the wrong direction.
We've seen it before.
Well,
I
yes.
want to fantasy book something real quick. And maybe I'm just sick in the head for this.
Right.
I want Tiffany to beat Charlotte at WrestleMania. And then Charlotte in her mind goes from Ric Flair to David Flair, circa WCW 2000.
Oh, dear Christ, dude. You are sick.
Look, listen, David Flair was not great in the ring. Charlotte is. If she could get the character work, she would be amazing.
That's valid. That's valid.
Okay. We got to rapid fire these because we're not even into night 2 yet. And we got 15 minutes left. Gunther versus Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship. Ella.
Jey Uso, because if it's a waste of a Royal Rumble win, and why did you have him lose a week before the Rumble if you were going to have him lose to the same dude again 3 months later for the 4th time? It's a waste of a Royal Rumble win if he doesn't win. So I have to say Jey Uso.
Yes, exactly.
Maddie?
Jey Uso needs this win. I want Gunther to win because if he does win, he's the ultimate bad guy for the brand.
Yeah.
But I don't see them having Jey lose to him. What, 3 title matches in a row? 4?
4 counting the Intercontinental. And plus, after we did the Jimmy, it's like, my God, there's just no way. There's no way.
Yeah, no, you that is the match that you need to have the feel-good ending.
Yes.
Because you don't have somebody do that to somebody's twin brother and them not go over for the story.
Yeah.
Especially if it's not the main event. Like, if it was the main event, I would have it on my mind that it would be Jey, because night 2, who knows? But night 1 ending with that would be solid enough. But we have a different main event, and it's probably going to be a swervy main event. So, this one we got to have a feel good for this.
Jey Uso and Gunther is opening the show. That's my prediction.
Oh, well, then there you go. Start us off with a yay. Or the yeet, I guess.
Yeet. Have to do that at the Pat McAfee show last week because he was there.
That's right. I forgot about that.
I'll talk about the McAfee show next week. It's WrestleMania.
Yes.
The main event of night 1, Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. Seth Rollins apparently has dropped the freaking in his name.
Good.
Thank God.
Stupid.
That has been. I can't believe that was around for 3 years.
Yeah.
3 years of that.
No way.
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time with this one because I've seen people's theories. I've seen people talk about how the storyline is going. I'll tell you this much. I don't think Roman's winning.
Roman is the underdog in this match.
Yeah, Roman, I think takes the fall, honestly.
Wow. Okay.
Roman is a plus 300 to win the match. The other two, minus 115 and minus 110. I'm not telling you which way it's going until we
I
predict.
mean, that's so close at the coin flip. I'm going Seth Rollins. I'm going Seth for this one. Jeff, who do
I
you-
joined him with Seth Rollins.
I'm also going with Rollins.
Ella?
I want it to be Seth. I have Roman Reigns because he has never lost back-to-back WrestleManias. I think they're going to pull Royal Rumble 2022 where Paul Heyman realigned with Brock Lesnar at day one. They were together for 4 weeks. Brock defended the World Heavyweight Championship at the Royal Rumble against Bobby Lashley.
The WWE Championship, yep.
And then Paul turned on Brock by giving the title to Roman, and then Roman struck Brock and cost Brock the match.
Yep.
They were together for like 4 weeks again.
Yeah.
CM Punk and Paul Heyman are together for 2 weeks, whatever.
Not even that.
I think it's a swerve. I think that it's always Paul Heyman is going to be loyal to Roman Reigns these days. So, and logically, I cannot bet against Roman Reigns. I don't think it'll be CM Punk. Just said he wanted to be in the main event. He didn't say he had to win. So Punk is way out of my mind. I want it to be Seth Rollins so bad because I want that double turn, but I think I can't bet against Roman Reigns. I think it's going to be Royal Rumble 2022 all over again. I got Roman Reigns.
Okay.
You know what?
The odds on favorite by a 5-point difference is CM Punk as
I don't
the
see how
odds
it's
on
CM
favorite.
Punk.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm going Punk instead.
Wow. Okay. Roman.
Here's the thing. Like, and this is wrestling trope logic to me.
Yeah, please explain, because I'm struggling how it could be CM Punk. So please explain.
Okay, so Seth was the one who stood tall on Monday night, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So logic dictates the people who stand tall on the go home don't win at the big show. I feel like CM Punk is going to be in line for a future world title match at some point. I feel like Roman and Seth need to continue their feud. Like their feud is never ending, which is perfectly fine. And like, I'm so torn about this one. Like, I am between Seth and Punk, but like something in me is saying everybody is trying to fantasy book this massive swerve thing with Seth, but to me it doesn't make sense. So I'm going Punk. I might be wrong. There's such disparity here. I gotta take a shot somewhere. And if he wins, I look like a freaking genius. And if he loses, I look like a freaking idiot. I'm willing to take that chance. All right. Night 2.
Did Maddie give?
Maddie
I went with Seth.
Yeah, Maddie said so.
I want it to be Seth so
I do
bad.
too. God, I want it so
But,
bad
like,
for him.
But also, like Greg said, like he just stood tall. I had to go Roman, but yeah.
All right. So before we get into night 2, I promised that I would show the WrestleMania punishment wheel
Oh God, yes.
live on the show.
Okay.
So I will list the choices if you can't see them on screen, but let me see here. See if it'll let me and not like crash the stream.
Right. If it does, we'll see you next week. For the record.
Yeah, pretty much. And then we'll just write in our votes for.
There you go for night 2. There you go. We'll tweet them out.
I don't know if it's gonna come up, but
The only pick that I've changed since making like predictions has been the 3-way between the guys. Because originally I leaned Seth, but I was like, after seeing Raw, I was like, would they really have the double turn? Like I wanted that. It just seems like so crazy. I'm like, I don't know if they'll actually do it.
seeing Roman pie face Paul was interesting. I did not. I mean, I knew Roman
gave
was
him a little shove. That's all. He just gave him a little shove.
But like the reaction of Paul and the crowd was like, oh damn, he actually. I mean, granted, they freaking Roman had the wise man dropped before Royal Rumble, and then God, the new bloodline just obliterated Paul. But Paul doesn't take a lot of bumps unless it's really meaning something. Like he's never been that guy in his post Paul Dangerously life. So
Nice. Switch the camera view on here.
I do know. Should be able to.
Maybe. I guess I can just do in facing front. Aha. Facing back. There we go.
And there was light ring, and it was good.
Greg said, "Let there be light."
And we all went, "Ow!"
Okay, hold on. I don't know if that helps.
It actually does.
So, listed on the punishment wheel are the following things. There is an awkward phone call where one of us is going to make a call to somebody on our phones and just completely embarrass themselves.
Oh my God.
I feel like there are people we all know that it would be interesting to make that call.
Oh my God.
There is a video message where we DM somebody on Twitter and just like shit talk the fuck out of them.
Okay.
There is eat a gross food. So I was thinking if Ella loses, we make her eat mac and cheese.
Oh, that's okay.
Deal.
I mean, I'll eat mac and cheese, but if it's not that, it'll be whatever. Yeah.
No, it'll tailor to whoever it is.
Oh, be person centric. Okay. Okay.
Take a bump, which that's self-explanatory. Yeah. The cinnamon challenge.
I've never done it, but I know what it is.
Yes, which is just try and eat a spoonful of cinnamon in a minute without any water.
Mm-hmm.
So,
that's hideous. Yeah.
A makeup makeover. So I would likely have to take Jen's makeup and just design something goofy.
That would be so fun.
That'd be so fun to watch.
I would do that. I would do that right now. Honestly, that's fun.
Yeah.
The awful smoothie, which is kind of like the gross food, but you have to drink it instead, like blend it up and drink it. And of course, the last one, the shaving cream hat, which is you fill a hat with shaving cream and you wear it all show long.
So I only have to be a bitch and say I can't do the bump one, medically disqualification reasons. Like if I take a bump, I'm fucked. So especially the way I take bumps.
Bump on my bed.
I can't even bump. This bed's dangerous, but I can try to find a way to make it safe, but I hope that we won't land on it. I'll put it that way.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. If it comes to that, we will determine it based on who wins and. There's 8 spots on the wheel, so we'll figure it out.
Okay.
I will be posting the result of the spin Monday over on Twitter.
Okay.
So you guys will know what punishment is going to happen to which person.
In advance. Okay, very good.
Ella, even if you survive the challenge, you're free to join us next Wednesday to watch one of us do something stupid. All right, night 2. AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. Ella.
To me, this was actually like the toughest one on the card. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But people have brought up to me, have pointed out this might be AJ's last WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Because it isn't his contract coming up, and I would think he would be willing to put a talent over. So for that, I was swayed to Logan Paul simply because of that. But again, this was the one I think on the card that I was the most unsure about because I could legit see it going either way. But I have Logan Paul simply because AJ might want to put him over. That's all.
Okay. And Ella, did you ever think that'd be a conversation with Logan Paul in the equation? It could go either way. It's going to be a banger. Like, what?
It will be a banger.
Oh, no. Well, 100%.
Karrion Kross should get involved and maybe like amp up AJ, but I think he might accidentally like cost him. We'll see. But like, I think it's Logan Paul.
I do too.
Maddie?
If this is AJ Styles' last match, what a way to go out. 2 Japanese legends going head to head in the ring.
Jeez, that's wild. Wow.
I had to do it. every bone in my body wants AJ Styles to win this match.
Right.
Because the thought of saying Logan Paul beat AJ Styles makes me want to physically retch.
Yeah.
And
Hear a butt coming.
it's got to be Logan Paul, right?
Wow.
Then it looks like I'm the odd man out. I'm going AJ.
Okay.
I want it to be AJ.
I do
want it to
too,
be
really
AJ
bad.
Shane. Like I think this will be AJ's best WrestleMania match since his one against Shane, which is still wild to me with the list of people AJ has faced at WrestleMania. That his best match is against Shane McMahon, and I feel so vindicated for that.
Right. God.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This one
Anyway.
might be the hardest one on the card to predict, just because there's multiple people in it. The Intercontinental Championship Fatal 4-Way match. Braun Breaker defends against Dirty Dominic Mysterio, Penta, and Finn Balor. Jeff, who do you got?
I'm such an agent of chaos. Dom wins and Balor's removal from Judgment Day as a result of it. That's I want that, and I think it's gonna happen both. Like I both of them. Like I want it to happen so bad just to watch the internet go, oh my god, Dominic winning the Intercontinental title. But the kid's proven himself. So like I'm here for that. I'm absolutely here for every bit of it.
He needs to get his win finally. He's 0-3 at WrestleMania. He should have won last year. I love Ray, but Dominic and Santos should have won last year.
Yeah, Dominic should have won when they were here for 2 years ago. Like that he should have beat Ray straight up one-on-one. Absolutely. I agree with that 100%.
Mm-hmm. I also got Dominic, though. Simply, Finn and Penta, I guess, technically stood tall. Dominic, that would finally give Finn an out to go do, and he's been shit talking. We think Finn's gonna turn on Dominic. I think it's gonna be Dominic that ultimately sneaks in and gets the win. I think it's gonna be a short title reign. Give Dominic that moment. I also got Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah. Dom's looked like a bitch since the whole thing with Rhea and Liv. Like he's got to get some strength back, and this is it.
Mm-hmm.
Maddie.
Oh, he's gonna look like a bitch in the end of the match too. So I'm going to paint the picture for the end of the match. Penta goes for the fear factor, that's still what I'm calling it, onto Dom. That gets broken up by Finn with a sling blade. Finn gets absolutely obliterated by Braun Breaker.
Mm-hmm.
Dom then sneaks in, throws Braun Breaker into the turnbuckle, sneaks the pin off of Finn Balor. 1, 2, 3. Balor takes the pin. Dom gets the belt.
Yes.
And we get exactly what you guys said about Finn Balor getting kicked out of Judgment Day.
I'm here for that finish and the win. Absolutely.
Someone tag Marissa DeLuca on Twitter because we got a clean sweep for Dominic Mysterio.
Right.
The other person I have is Braun Breaker, but it's got to be Dom. By the way, Dom is Vegas betting odds favorite.
Okay, well, there you go.
Well, speaking of the Judgment Day, the women's tag team titles, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez defend against Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. Judgment Day's retaining, right?
Yes, this is the only. This is one of the 2 confirmed matches that I am like 100% confident in, maybe 99. Liv and Raquel. They only put Lyra and Bayley because they didn't want to keep them off of this card. They're a makeshift team. You need legit teams, especially if you're building towards an evolution. You want a legit tag team, So I have to go with Liv and Raquel.
Yeah.
Is that a consensus as well?
Well, Ella, do you think they're going to have Bayley turn again, or am I just overthinking?
It's very possible Bayley, because I think Bayley's going to get a rematch at Lyra at some point, and she might take the title off of her. This could be the catalyst for that. Lyra loses it, and Bayley's not mad, or Bayley just straight up turns on Lyra. Yeah, I think they're only on this card. I mean, granted, they're deserving of it, but they're only on this card because they didn't want to leave them off. Like it's very apparent.
Yeah, they should be there, just not the role they're in. It's off kilter. Yeah.
So I got a little bit of heat from this. I felt the tag title should have been defended on NXT Stand and Deliver. maybe get the belts down there for a short period of time. I would have put them on Jakara and Last Legend and have them defend it because they've had appearances on SmackDown as of late. You know, give them the belts, let them defend it on NXT, give them those reps on the main roster, maybe a couple pay-per-view appearances, but I feel like that should have happened because we should have had Lyra versus Bailey here.
And we should have Chelsea versus something, buddy, for her title.
So, thoughts. There is a fatal four-way tag match on the pre-show of Stand and Deliver for a shot at the WWE Women's Tag Team title. As far as I know, that's not to get to the WrestleMania match. It's just a future.
Correct. Yeah, they would be facing the winners of the WrestleMania match. Correct.
That's it. So maybe Raw after Mania? I don't know.
Yeah, I guess.
Or on NXT Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's going to be in Vegas still.
Maybe.
I think.
All right. I skipped over the Sin City Street fight. Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre.
Drew.
I got Puerto Rican Poppy in this one.
Oh.
Okay. I'm going Drew as well, just because. I mean, last year Damian beat Drew in like 9 seconds with the Money in the Bank.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Drew gets his win back against Priest.
Yeah, this has been Drew's year path of having to be the world champion and then not, and then he hasn't got back there yet.
What I just had an intrusive. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but like if Bad Bunny were to return, this would be it, right?
This would be the spot, yeah, because it's in Vegas. This would be a spot that he would be.
Oh, I still gotta go Drew, but
I did talk about that on my other prediction show. Like the Bad Bunny appearance is never out of the question.
No. I was gonna say, is Issa joining us because like the Raiders probably going off in Puerto Rico?
Ooh, if Bad Bunny does return, then I would say absolutely Damian, but that's unconfirmed right now, so I gotta go Drew.
Yep. Yeah, we don't know.
All right, this match is probably another difficult one to predict, especially since it's on night 2. The Women's World Championship Triple Threat, which I think is going to be a fantastic match. Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair. I know who I want to win. It's also who I think is going to win. It's who I really, really want to win. I'm going Bianca. I quite frankly, I hate the way Rhea's been booked in this entire storyline because she looks like such a sore loser. And she's supposed to be the baby face. Like, I know Io is too, but like, Rhea just looks like Rhea's whining in this thing. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
So I'm going Bianca, who is, if there was any definition to justify heel, it's Bianca Belair.
Right? Well, it's funny. We were talking about this on the shenanigans for a few weeks now. Oh, they'll return Bianca. She's the female John Cena. John turned. Why can't we turn Bianca too? So I think it happens, and I think she goes full blown heel and just through it.
I'm not opposed. I would love to see the return of like NXT style heel Bianca.
I have still not ruled out in my freaking caveman primitive Agent of Chaos brain that she was not involved with Naomi and Jade's thing. I still think that's a thing.
There's a possibility. Like there's definitely layers to that story that haven't been told.
Yep.
Who wants to take it next?
I also have Bianca. Rhea putting the title. I like Rhea having her lose it and then win it back a month later would just be like stupid. I can see like an Io because she has Rhea's number and then she pins Rhea and then Bianca makes the case. So you never pinned me. And then they run it back again at Backlash. Like that's a possibility, but I'm not going to bet against Bianca's undefeated streak. So I'm going Bianca Belair.
Yeah, she's the John Cena range. You don't bet against her at WrestleMania.
That is another thing that I had talked about earlier, and it's what made me change my opinion because I had Bianca winning, but now I have Io winning, pinning Rhea. Bianca still never got pinned. She didn't necessarily take the loss. That was what the argument from one of my co-hosts, but. You know, if you ain't first, you're last.
I'm honestly happy with either Bianca or Io. I love them both. I'm
going Io. I'm going
I'd be happy
Io.
with that.
And I feel like the loss is what's going to send Bianca into her heel turn. Like, she's already been showing teases. If she watches Rhea eat the pin while it's like she's on the outside of the ring, Bianca goes off, assaults Io in the ring, assaults Bianca, or assaults Io, assaults Rhea, and then stands tall above both of them, walks out, and then goes into Monday, hopefully not doing a "you people" promo.
Right.
Yeah.
But a valid, like Naomi's valid heel turn. Like a valid heel turn for Bianca, because I feel like she is a much more natural heel. From her work in NXT, she was one of the best heels in the business.
One of my favorite things ever with Charlotte was in NXT. You don't even go here. It's like, it was so, like, it made her a baby face because it was so funnier in hell. But
Bianca's character work in that segment, when Charlotte put the hand in front of her face, and just like the reaction, like she was reacting through Charlotte's and Rhea's promo the entire time, and then went
so good, so good.
But that's the moment. I think that's the moment where I like really got behind Bianca.
Yep.
It's like she was a star then. She's a star now. Like,
I just think it was a year or two. She was in the main event with Sasha.
Yeah.
Which best women's WrestleMania match ever.
Hard to argue.
My opinion again.
Yeah.
Jeff, did you pick?
I did. I picked Bianca.
Okay. Finally, and I'm also going to do a tiebreaker concerning this match, just in case scores happen. Cody Rhodes, John Cena. Number 17.
This is the one that's racking my brain, especially after looking at the Vegas betting odds.
Okay.
Because Vegas betting odds have the Invisible Man winning this one.
By a lot?
Cody has held it for over a year now.
Okay.
I can see them passing the belt on to Cena here. It's going to be overbooked to the fucking moon.
Yes.
But it's John Cena.
I agree. It should be. If there's any place to do number 17, it's WrestleMania, because like at this point, Cody's gone through like not everyone, but basically all the top stars on the brand that he could, besides Roman, I guess. If he beats Cena, really the only other person would be Orton turning on him. But considering Backlash is in St. Louis, I think we're getting a repeat of Elimination Chamber, and John beats Cody down so bad and beats him that Cody is out for a couple weeks, and Randy steps up in his honor, and then that's how you get Randy and John at Backlash, and John retaining.
In St. Louis. That was my
in St. Louis.
Process as
Yeah,
well.
I think Cody's going to be written off because it's like Backlash is only 3 weeks after. It's not like he beats him down so bad. Cody's out for like 3 or 4 weeks. Randy steps up in his honor and then loses.
And
He still gets that moment, but yeah,
you don't need a real story either.
Yeah,
No.
I mean, you don't
it's
for
Orton
them,
Cena.
but yeah, but that there is a story there. Although, however, I mean, I've been waiting for that Cody and Orton match. Like, I want Randy to turn on Cody. I just don't know if it'd be at WrestleMania, but nevertheless, I have to go with John Cena as well, number 17.
Think about the thing you laid out with St. Louis is, we know you almost had to know we're going to get John and Randy this year before John hangs it up. But not only is it a championship match, not only is Randy the babyface by default, but now Randy's in St. Louis. He's definitely the damn babyface. Like, my God.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, this is the only time that they will ever have their roles reversed.
Yeah, and which man, some of the dark shit Randy did to John as a heel. Oh my God, like I can't even.
I want the I Quit to be reversed.
Oh my goodness.
Head off.
Yeah, how John still retains the title in that scenario That's something to really ponder. I like that. Anyway.
Travis Scott.
I like the idea of John Cena losing an I Quit match at some point in this run because his whole thing for 20 years has been never back down, never quit.
Never give up.
And he's never lost an I Quit match.
Yeah.
So
He's only ever tapped out twice, right?
he's tapped out. He tapped out to Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
And
He's faded.
to Benoit, I think.
Oh,
I think he's
so.
tapped out to Benoit and Angle, I think.
And they were both early on.
yeah.
As far
That
as
was
this
way before the
weekend,
hustle, loyalty, respect.
yeah. As far as this weekend, God, you guys know how much I hate this. This sucks. I'm so mad that I have to choose between these two people. God, I hate it.
I want to see Cody get his ass beat, even though I love him. But he's he's so good in that role.
Let's think. That's what I want. It was difficult when the heel turn went down. I mean, it was a great birthday present for me. Like, thank you, John, for the heel turn on my birthday. I really appreciate that. I know, right? I was like, I had the day off too. I'm like, if I'd known, I would have been there. Like, but he didn't tell me, asshole. How could he? I think he has to win. I think John has to win to justify any of this. Because if he loses, it's like, what are we doing for the next 8 months?
Yeah.
Like, he has to win.
Doesn't have to hold the title long.
No, he doesn't. But I will say, like you said, he has to absolutely bludgeon Cody. Yeah. He has to leave him laying in just a pool of his own mess, leaving Las Vegas. He has to. And either way, I think he's walking out with 17. And I'm gonna be one of the few that gets to cheer loud and long for it because it's long overdue. He'll try to win.
So we clean sweep on Cena.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
The tiebreaker that I have is, and I'm not going to do Price is Right rules for it. How long do you think from bell to bell John Cena versus Cody Rhodes is going to be?
I'll go first. 45-34.
Jesus.
I got like 25 minutes.
Yeah, I was thinking more 25.
This thing's gonna be booked to the moon. 45 minutes.
Cannot wrestle for 40 minutes. I love that man.
It's not gonna be wrestling. No, it's not gonna be wrestling.
No, that's fair too. But
I'll go 28. I'll go 28.
28. Okay. Jeff, what do you got?
24-30.
Oh, you're going a little shorter. Okay. I am going to go 32.5.
Imagine it's a squash and it's just they all gang up on Cody.
Oh my God, right?
Here's the thing: if it's a squash and we hit the tiebreaker, Jeff wins.
Yeah.
Like Jeff is essentially the $1 Bob in this whole group.
Oh my God.
Which that works for me too. God, I want so bad to be there, and I know I can't be either way, whether I'm working or not, because it's too damn expensive. But God, it almost just drives me to make every effort to make sure I'm at Rebellion next Sunday, because God damn it, if Frankie doesn't win the world title, which Randy hurt, I'm gonna kill somebody. I swear to God, Frankie so deserves it. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm talking about a different show. I've got two of my favorite people I've ever met in wrestling, two of my longest friends that could be world champions back-to-back weekends. Like, I love wrestling. I just do. I'm so happy.
And with that, our WrestleMania predictions are confirmed. I have them saved. Stay tuned to everything WrestleMania related. Stay tuned for Monday over on the old Twitter account to find out which one of us gets punished and what our punishment will be next Wednesday. God. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
It's a blessing.
Like our predictions are locked. No changing them.
Yeah, no. And like I said, starting about an hour ago with the GCW show, my guys have 18 watch-alongs between now and the next time we're on the air for this show. Bananas, dude.
Listen, if I had the finances to do that, I would definitely do it. But I do not.
You'd be surprised how cheaply we're pulling it off. Like, because none of us are there.
I'm saying, I wish I was financially good that I wouldn't have to worry about like going to work.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see
So
what
I
you're
can-
saying. Yeah. Well, I'm not having to be on them. I'm just going here, team, do your thing. Yes, do your thing.
Hey, listen, our good buddy Maven is in Las Vegas, so who knows
is?
where he's showing up.
Very happy for Maven.
He was supposed to be in the clusterfuck, and then they like took him out. So I don't know if he's actually doing anything in Vegas.
I think just being in Vegas is a clusterfuck if we're being real. So you know,
And
I think-
he never
I
texted me,
think
so
them
he's not going
announce- I think them announcing it is what fucked that up.
right?
If he shows up at WrestleMania, I'm going to give him so much shit.
Oh God, yes, have to.
I'll be like, why the fuck didn't you tell me?
Same reason I wasn't told about a lot of things.
Just angrily text him the Eagles commander sport.
You owe me that. Oh wait, what am I doing?
Anyway, thank you, Ella, again for joining us. WrestleMania
Thank
prediction.
you.
We'll see you next week. Maybe you'll get punished. Maybe you won't. It might be one of us.
We'll see.
It's going to be a wild Wednesday next week. Hope you tune in. Enjoy WrestleMania week, everybody. That's the Greg Cherry Show. The WrestleMania Greg Cherry Show. You need that branding. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week. Don't be a jag. Enjoy Mania, everybody.
Enjoy wrestling.
Yes.